Hi everybody, this is Through the Looking Glass Take 2. So I did an introduction just a few minutes ago and didn't record any sound. And if we're doing some reading, you guys got to hear the sound. So this is just the introduction. Through the Looking Glass is a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. A sequel is a book that comes after. So sometimes there will be a series of books. Alice in Wonderland, the sequel, is Through the Looking Glass. And I was just mentioning earlier, I got my notebook. I have written in there the date, Through the Looking Glass. And I have to underline that because it's the title of a book. And it's by Lewis Carroll. He's the author. Now, what I was saying, when no one could hear me because I didn't have my volume on, is that this is a Project Gutenberg book. So Project Gutenberg is an organization that takes books that are in the public domain, so books that have their copyrights have basically expired, and they go through it, they edit it up, and they produce, versions of the book that anyone in the United States or in most other parts of the world can use with no cost, no restrictions, basically. And so that's really convenient for us, especially for teachers, because we're always looking, to teach certain stuff for great material, and if we're constantly fighting with copyright or, trying to maintain everybody's ownership properly, it gets really bogs down sometimes. So I'm very thankful to Project Gutenberg for providing this service for us, and all the books. And it's really, it's preserved a lot of material, I think, over the years. So this is Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, the Millennium Fulcrum Edition 1.7. And we'll go over the table of contents. I always like to go over the table of contents before I start a book, just so I can get an idea. Remember in the last book, in Alice in Wonderland, things were really crazy, right? Like, she fell down a hole, and then there were all these mystical creatures. They were talking. She was growing up huge. She was shrinking down tiny, growing up huge, shrinking down tiny. All these strange things were going on, and I made a comparison to the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic of 2020, because I feel like, kind of like that's what it feels like to live in the coronavirus of 2020, the pandemic of 2020. So, anyway, I was curious, what is Through the Looking Glass going to be like? Are we going to be more crazy, or, are we going to settle down, or what are we doing? So there's 12 chapters. I'm going to read those to you. In this table of contents, there's the Looking Glass House, the Garden of Live Flowers, Looking Glass Insects, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Tweedledee. Wool and Water, Humpty Dumpty, The Lion and the Unicorn, It's My Own Invention, Queen Alice, Shaking, Waking, and Which Dreamed It. So those are the chapters we're going to read, and that's the introduction to Through the Looking Glass.